This is CBC Here and Now.
Drive from Flowers Gophers is to cover off Port Sanders. That's an hour and a half. Looking at a delay of response time, an hour to an hour and a half.
Sounding the alarm over district policing as the RCMP moves to cover larger areas from its detachments.
Disappointed that there wasn't more thought into these answers.
The three men running in Lake Melville are grilled by the local Status of Women Council at last night's debate. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes.
And I'm Anthony Germain. Well, let's get right to our top story. The RCMP in this province is changing how it provides policing. The force has implemented what's known as a district model approach. It's a shift in how officers are managed and assigned to patrol communities. Now, the RCMP will manage detachments over much larger geographic areas, and already critics are sounding the alarm. Here Now, Cease Hare explains.
The RCMP says as a result of these changes, there will be no impact on policing levels, response times, no jobs lost, and no detachments will close. But change has already happened in some parts of this province, and town leaders don't like it, especially when it comes to emergencies.
If they got to drive from Flowers Gophers is to cover off Port Sanders, that's an hour and a half. In wintertime, worse again. Or if Port Sanders got to cover off of Flowers Cove, that's an hour and a half. You're looking at a delay of response time, an hour to an hour and a half, and it's not acceptable.
The change to on-call services started a year ago on the Northern Peninsula, whereby one detachment covers off the other. For example, the RCMP in Flowers Cove answers calls in Port Saunders, a distance of 100 kilometers, and vice versa. And the RCMP in Roddickton-Bide Arm covers St. Anthony. That's a distance of 127 kilometers, but a driving distance of an hour and 45 minutes. Mayors in the area say it's an unacceptable level of service, it needs to be improved, and each detachment should be staffed.
We had a case in Roddickton last year where there was a car accident. The RCMP couldn't respond to it, and they had local volunteers guard the scene. And from what I understand, it could have been a criminal scene. So the site was more than likely contaminated by the time the RCMP arrived a number of hours later.
This change to the district model by the RCMP removes budgeting and scheduling of officers from detachment leaders to a district commander.
I don't think the 500 or 525 that we have out there is near enough.
Brian Sauvé is president of the National Police Federation and says this management change means already overworked RCMP officers in this province will be spread more thinly. Maybe, he says, there won't be a huge difference in visible police presence, but you can expect longer response times and less effort towards campaigns to reduce crime.
Such as school liaison, school resource presentations, such as proactive traffic enforcement for impaired operations, drunk driving initiatives, such as speed enforcement on the Trans-Canada Highway.
Sauvé says the workforce problem for the RCMP boils down to stagnant funding. The police force has not received a significant increase in funding from the province since 2014. Cease Hare, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, still to come, we head to the political district of Harbour Grace Portagrave,
Where the two candidates, a current MHA and a former MHA, are running on their records. That's right after the weather.
Another lovely day as far as temperatures go for the southern half of the island anyway. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Reached a high near 15 degrees in Deer Lake. St. Lawrence topped off at 16 degrees this afternoon. Again, we're seeing that the cooler temperatures along the northeast coast, 4 degrees for the most part, and then up through Labrador, much cooler. So Lab City only hovering around 2 degrees yesterday. That was 11 degrees. So if we take a look at what we're seeing, those two systems still very much in play, one on off the coast, and then we've got another system moving in. That's a low pressure system. If we add that radar, you can see we're starting to see that rain move in and head towards the west coast. And it's going to continue to do so as we head through the night tonight. We're already seeing rain, snow for most of western Labrador, and that's going to continue to track a little bit further north as we head through the night tonight. Otherwise, those temperatures are going to be dipping again back to the single digits. Some freezing drizzle possible along the northeast coast as well, between 1 and 2 degrees, a little bit warmer along the west coast overnight tonight. And then Lab City going to hang on to that either rain or snow through the night. Happy Valley Goose Bay, slight chance we could see some showers towards the early morning hours. And then again, coastal Labrador looking at that potential for some freezing drizzle. So let's look at your forecast tonight. We'll look ahead and what's expected in the next couple of days when I come back.
A new political poll from MQO Research released today puts the Liberals in first place. 600 people in the province were polled between April the 25th and May the 4th. Among decided and leaning voters, support for the Liberal Party is up 4 percentage points from last time to 48%. The PC Party support fell by 6 points to 36%, and support for the NDP held steady at 11%. The NL Alliance also saw little change at 2%. Now, the big number here is the undecided or won't vote category. That's at 39%. Now, support for the party leaders, that kept in line with support for the parties among decided voters. Liberal leader Dwight Ball pulled the highest at 47%, and support for PC leader Ches Crosby is at 37%, 10 points back. Alison Coffin with the NDP is at 12%, and NL Alliance leader Graydon Pelly polled at 4%. The margin of error for this poll is plus or minus 4 percentage points, 19 times out of 20. Well, women's issues were at the forefront of a candidates forum in Happy Valley Goose Bay last night, but while it was hosted by the Mokami Status of Women, there were only male candidates there to answer the questions. Jacob Barker reports.
In an election where less than a quarter of the candidates are women, and in a district where all 3 of the candidates are men, some worry women's issues could be left behind.
We were sitting around the kitchen table at our center and trying to make sure that women's issues were being presented, and just talking, you know, we have 3 males that are running, and not that males can't represent any of our issues, but we do individually as women have a greater knowledge of things that we do face.
The candidates had only 2 minutes to give their solutions to some of the biggest issues facing women in Central Labrador.
What strategies and policies will you put into place to address violence against all women?
Starting with a family that's in trouble, that's a bit late. Policies need to be put in place to address mental illness.
We have moved in great steps in terms of healthcare here, going to essentially eliminating wait times now for counseling last summer from 322 to 0 in 1 month.
I'd really like to see us actually get an addiction center here in Lake Melville.
Other issues came up, like the lack of a pediatrician or lactation specialist in the region, and childcare. In their unpassed budget, Liberals promised a $1 million expansion to the Labrador Correctional Center to house women.
Why none of you see it as an issue that women are going to be housed in a prison with men?
Incumbent MHA Perry Trimper said he didn't know what the expansion would look like.
While it's not perfect, it's advancing the situation.
But LaValle wasn't satisfied with any of the answers she heard from the potential candidates.
Yes, it was only announced recently, but it was recent enough for me to think about the question and think about whether or not they were going to be housed next door to these men. And I'm a little bit disappointed that there wasn't more thought into these answers.
A new generation added their voice as well.
What do you guys think you're going to help with, like, the learning and stuff?
You know, get out as Girl Guides and hear what the candidates have to say, and maybe get them thinking now about what's important to them. By the time that they're actually voting age, you know, they have a kind of strong foundation to build upon.
A crash course in democracy for these young girls from a generation who aren't afraid to ask difficult questions. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Well, staying with politics, a two-way race with familiar options in Harbour Grace Port de Grave. The opponents ran against each other last time, and they've both held the office before. Here Now's Katie Breen reports.
This time, PC candidate Glenn Littlejohn says going up to doors is a little different. In 2015, when he was the incumbent running for re-election, a red wave was washing over. He was expecting to lose, but this time he says people have been telling him he has a chance, and Muskrat Falls, a project he voted for, isn't coming up too much.
Our progressive conservative government was on their third term. At the end of the third term, there was a change momentum in the air. This time, this Liberal government has a record, and it goes back to the budget of 2016.
Littlejohn lost out last time to Liberal Pam Parsons in a big way. More than 1,500 votes divided them. This go-around, they say the new Coley's Point Primary School is a key issue. Construction just started, and they both want props for it.
The local MHA is taking credit. Most of that work was done.
So I made this a top priority.
We were ready to go with the school. The Liberal government decided to defer it for 3 years, or delay it for 3 years, and all of a sudden it pops up in the middle of an election campaign.
It's this government and the people here that secured that school. Nothing materialized in that time. And you know, put your money where your mouth is, and this government did, 16.2 million to be exact.
They're each running on their records. They've both represented the area before, and one of them will get in again. They're the only ones running. Katie Breen, CBC News, Bay Roberts.
We have reaction tonight to a CBC Investigates story that broke this morning. It's about a Liberal candidate and his past involvement with a penny stock company. Liberal leader Dwight Ball is calling it a non-issue. Rob Antle has more.
A big rally in the early days of the provincial election campaign. Brian Dix launching his bid for Humber Bay of Islands. But 7 years ago, he was in a much different role. Dix was president of a penny stock company that planned to grow stevia plants in Cambodia. Stevia Nutra never made a dime, but was briefly valued in the tens of millions before it failed. Some people with business ties to Stevia Nutra have landed in hot water for their work with other penny stocks, like a lawyer and financier, later accused of stock market violations. Still, Dix stands by the company.
I feel that my role with Stevia Nutra was a totally above board. It was solid. My performance was solid. So I see nothing in my role with this company that would in any way impact negatively on my ability to move forward.
Something echoed today by the Liberal leader.
There's nothing there. It's really, this is an example of a business that wasn't successful, a business that ran out of money, and in the end it closed. So that is really the story here that happened. No wrongdoing at all.
Ball says Dix told him about the history of the company last night, and they spoke again this morning. The Liberal leader says there were no issues raised in the candidate green light process because there was no wrongdoing. Rob Antle, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, now to some royal news. We don't know what he looks like, we don't know his name, but Prince Harry and Meghan's new baby boy is expected to make his debut tomorrow. And the royal fans just can't wait. Today, Jean Chrétien had a chance to congratulate the Queen in person at Windsor Castle.
So life is good for you, Your Majesty. Congratulations, another great grandchildren. How many of them have you got now? You beat me by one.
The former Prime Minister was attending a lunch for members of the Order of Merit. The Queen is expected to visit her 8th great-grandchild sometime within the next 24 hours.
This weather update is brought to you by the Healthcare Foundation Home Lottery. Order your tickets now at hcfhomelottery.ca.
Well, it's another spring-like day out there again across at least most of the island. Those temperatures quite chilly, though, along the northeast coast. But if we take a look at the satellite radar right now, we're starting to see that rain creep in. That will continue to do so as we head through the night tonight, and those temperatures are going to dip. So this is what we're sitting at now, between 11 and 12 degrees on the west coast. Those temperatures will dip as we head through the overnight, closer to the 2 or 3 degree mark. But that means everything should stay as rain as we head through the afternoon tomorrow. So there's that swath of rain heading across the island, and then up through Labrador. Mainly western Labrador is looking at either snow or rain tomorrow afternoon. It won't quite make its way towards Happy Valley Goose Bay as far as snow goes. So it looks like we should just see showers, and then again along coastal Labrador as well through the afternoon tomorrow. So here's a look at the forecast. Those temperatures sitting between 8 and 9 degrees for most of the Avalon. Bonavista much cooler at 3 degrees. We can thank those cooler temperatures for that. As far as the Burin Peninsula goes, much cooler tomorrow as well, only sitting around 6 degrees. Now heading towards Grand Falls, Windsor, we're going to be closer to the double-digit mark. Twillingate 2 degrees. We're going to see showers along the northeast coast, though, fog and drizzle. Not so much rain tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to see that periods of rain, especially for the west coast. Corner Brook 8 degrees. Burgeo sitting around 4 degrees tomorrow afternoon, and then higher elevations could even see some snow as we get some cooler temperatures. So 4 to 7 degrees for most of the northern peninsula. Cartwright sitting at 3, and then as we head towards Lab City, another day sitting between 1 and 2 or 3 degrees as we head towards Churchill Falls, but we're still looking at either snow or rain tomorrow afternoon with some maybe 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. Now, talking about snow, Wednesday night, the system continues to track a little bit further south, and you can see future trackers showing snow for parts of eastern Newfoundland and the Avalon. Likely isn't going to accumulate too much, might see 2, maybe 4 centimeters of snow on grassy surfaces, but because those temperatures are so warm during the day, not anticipating that any of that is going to stick. Through Friday, or rather Thursday, we're going to stay a little bit cloudy for the most part, still looking at unsettled conditions along the northeast coast, but those temperatures are going to be sitting in the single digits. So about 5 degrees, it looks like. The west coast a little bit warmer, should tap into double-digit highs. Port aux Basques, 7 degrees, plenty of sunshine. Happy Valley Goose Bay have a high near 8 degrees. That snow will happen, or at least flurries will happen towards the early morning hours. Should see plenty of sunshine, and same thing for Lab City, and a high near 6 degrees. So here's a look at your 5-day forecast. Doesn't look terrible. We're still looking at temperatures above 0. So 9 tomorrow. Again, that rain moving in, potential to change over to snow late day, probably after midnight towards the early morning hours on Thursday. Again, 2, maybe 4 centimeters of wet, slushy snow. Winds are going to pick up on Thursday night, though. 5 degrees should be your afternoon high. And then Friday, Saturday, I have that sun icon in there. We should see some peaks of sun with the snow or flurries happening either in the overnight hours or the morning hours. But hovering around 4 or 5 degrees, it looks like, right through Sunday as the next system rolls in and brings in that potential for some showers. For central Newfoundland, 10 degrees tomorrow, rain or snow on Thursdays. We see a little bit of dip in the temperature. Overnight, though, Fridays, we're dipping down to -3, so that's why I have that flurry activity in there. Same for Saturday, but again, looking at peaks of sun through the day, and 8 degrees on Sunday with that potential for some showers. Now for western Newfoundland, much warmer as far as those temperatures go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Friday looks like a beautiful day with plenty of sunshine, and then we get unsettled for the weekend, but still in those double-digit highs. For eastern Labrador, we're looking at showers tomorrow, flurries on Thursday, plenty of sunshine for Friday, and generally unsettled on Saturday. And then for western Labrador, chilly tomorrow, so another 1 degree day it looks like. Again, either rain or snow, could pick up a couple centimeters there. Flurries for Thursday morning, and then 7 degrees and either rain or snow on Friday. For Saturday, we're looking at the same thing, and then Sunday, plenty of sunshine and 7 degrees. So that's a look at your outlook forecast. I'll have your weather photo when I come back later on in the show.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, a dog breeder in Clark's Beach has been charged with animal neglect after 5 severely malnourished dogs were seized from his home last month. Police in Bay Roberts were tipped off after someone reported the 55-year-old man for animal cruelty. He has since been released and is not permitted to possess or own any animal. The 5 dogs, one of them pregnant, are now recovering in foster homes. The man is scheduled to appear in court later this summer. Well, police say a woman arrested and charged with impaired driving had 3 children in the car with her at the time. It happened Saturday afternoon when Burin Peninsula Police were alerted about a possible impaired driver leaving a local hotel. Police later located a 50-year-old woman from Grand Bank in a vehicle with 3 young passengers. She was arrested and charged. Her license has been suspended and the vehicle was seized. The children were released to an adult family member. And have a look at this. Our CBC reporters on the campaign trail came across this scene on the south coast this afternoon, shortly before 4 p.m. A Coors Light truck off the road into the ditch near Pools Cove. Police were on the scene and say the driver could not be located. Now to some national news. Canada's refugee processing system has found itself under the microscope of the Office of the Auditor General. Its spring reports were released this morning. One of them finds that Canada's immigration system is not flexible enough to handle the influx of people crossing outside official border points beginning in early 2017. Now, the immigration minister responded to that today by blaming the previous government.
True to say that we've inherited an asylum system that was seriously underfunded by the Harper Conservatives. That system was inefficient and it simply wasn't funded for the volumes that were received in those years, let alone planning for any future increases.
Now, other highlights are the AG's report on government call centers, which found callers have difficulty getting through to agents, and a study on whether RCMP officers are equipped to deal with active shooter situations like the one in Moncton in 2014, in which 3 Mounties were killed. The report found that not all officers have access to the equipment they need. And a teacher in Saskatoon is making fans across the country with a stirring rendition of the national anthem. And that's what "Oh Canada" sounds like in Cree. 23-year-old Fallon Baptiste sang it at a recent hockey game. She learned Cree from her parents and calls knowing the language a blessing. The singer is one of only 100,000 people who speak Canada's most used Indigenous language.
Welcome back to the CBC Newsroom in St. John's. Well, Here and Now got a little history lesson last night from some of you who called to let us know that we messed up. Now, it's about the upcoming 100th anniversary of the Alcock and Brown transatlantic flight. And in a report last night, we said the flight took off from Leicester's Farms, which was wrong.
June 19th, John Alcock and Arthur Brown took off from Leicester's Field in Mount Pearl.
Now, that was Zach Gowdy last night, inadvertently referring to Leicester's Field being in Mount Pearl. Well, that's not quite right. Leicester's Farm might be in Mount Pearl, but the field where the flight took off was located in what's now Blackmarsh Road in St. John's. We were just actually testing to see how carefully you watch the show, and apparently you watch quite carefully. In national politics today, Andrew Scheer outlined how he sees Canada's place in the world if he were to form a government. The speech was a major foreign policy reveal just 6 months before the federal election. Scheer discussed his approach to everything from Arctic sovereignty to Canada's tense relationship with China.
For decades now, many in Canada have looked to China as a way of diversifying our export markets. But in recent years, it has become clear that China's adversarial approach to Canada and the Western democratic world has changed those expectations.
Now, Scheer says his government would focus on finding other trade partners. He also spoke about Canada's relationship with Israel, and he reiterated his support for declaring Jerusalem that country's capital and moving Canada's embassy there. Scheer says his government would join the U.S. in its ballistic missile program. Well, hearings began today in a controversial Quebec bill that would prohibit some public sector workers from wearing religious symbols while they're on the job. Now, this bill would apply to teachers, police officers, judges, as well as Crown prosecutors, among others. It's the latest in a decade-long debate in Quebec over what a secular state should look like. Alison Northcott has this report.
Rasha Chieb says it's always been a challenge to wear a hijab in Quebec, but says the debate around the province's secularism bill has made it even harder.
Somehow this law, even if this was not the intention, this law validated the negative image, like this is not what we want in Quebec.
The bill has highlighted divisions in the province between those who say the law would violate charter rights and those who say Quebec needs to ensure the state is secular.
It bans religious symbols for at least those public servants who are in positions of authority, which is excellent. It should do it for the entire public service, but it's a good start.
As today's hearings began, the minister who sponsored the bill says it strikes a balance between individual and collective rights. It's up to the Quebec government to stand up for our distinct character, says Immigration Minister Simon Jolin Barrette, and to make sure our collective choices are respected. The first presentations came from groups in favor of secularism.
The people in the school have this obligation towards the pupils to be neutral, do not show off what their preferences are politically or religiously.
Jamila Ben Habib said women who refuse at all costs to remove their hijabs are engaging in a form of emotional blackmail.
En disant non, je n'enlèverai pas mon hijab, eh bien celles-ci, oui, je considère qu'elles sont intégristes.
The hearings will also include presentations from opponents to the bill, but some groups say they have been left out.
Sends a clear message that people of faith backgrounds are not valued and are second-class citizens. And this is not the Quebec that most of us have grown up in.
But the government says it will hear from 36 groups representing a variety of views. It hopes to pass the bill by the end of the legislative session in June. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
People who live with disabilities lost one of their greatest champions today. Jean Vanier died in Paris at the age of 90, and he was the founder of L'Arche, creating communities in 38 countries that are home to thousands of people with and without disabilities. Simon Dingley now on Vanier's inspiration as well as his legacy.
Jean Vanier dedicated his life to others. The Canadian Navy officer and professor was born into privilege, the son of Canada's former Governor-General Georges Vanier. But a visit to a psychiatric hospital in France in 1964 changed his life.
I feel very much that the mentally deficient are the people who have no voice in our land. And I think that there have to be people who can speak for them.
Vanier became their voice. He founded L'Arche, or the Ark, a place of refuge for those with developmental disabilities. He invited 2 of those men to live with him just outside Paris. The idea, make them participants in life rather than just patients locked away in institutions.
people with disabilities have been humiliated. They've been told they're no good. They've been called names and all that stuff. But in reality, they're beautiful people.
Vanier continued to live in the first L'Arche community he created in France. Just north of Toronto, this is L'Arche Daybreak, the first in North America. Mary Bastido met Vanier in 1973. They became close friends.
He's a wonderful intellectual. He's a man with a vision and a real care about society and what kind of society we live in.
The Prime Minister remembered him in a tweet. Jean Vanier made it his life's work to help the most vulnerable and give everyone a real and fair chance at success. He made our world a better, more inclusive place. Vanier knew his time was running short. L'Arche International says this was his last message just a few days ago. I am deeply peaceful and trustful. I'm not sure what the future will be, but God is good, and whatever happens, it will be the best. I am happy and give thanks for everything. My deepest love to each one of you. Simon Dingley, CBC News, Toronto.
My fantasy thriller, I would have very good, strong economic idea.
Our election series, Undecided, is back.
Tonight, a look at growing the population of Newfoundland and Labrador and what this province offers to newcomers.
Hi, I'm Bailey White, and this is Undecided. You know, politicians talk a lot about immigration and growing the population, but at a time when more and more Newfoundlanders and Labradorians are moving away, what does this province have to offer newcomers, and why should anybody move here? Well, to find out, we are sitting down with three people who have moved here. Let's start this conversation with some introductions.
Hi Bailey, my name is Prajwala Dikshit. I am an engineer by education, a columnist and journalist by vocation, and a community catalyst by passion.
Hi, my name is Carmichael Polonio.
Hi, my name is Jerry Joy. I'm an engineer by profession too, and I run the Indian Express food truck and this place too.
I think you're all engineers by profession, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but I'm the only one who's practicing right now.
Well, I want to go down the line again, and maybe I'll start by asking you just a little bit about what brought you here.
Memorial University, that's what brought me here. I lived in Dubai before coming here. Very turbulent flight. I arrived with Hurricane Igor. Extremely turbulent, and the next day Hurricane Igor hit. I think my flight was the last one. And what didn't help is I'd watched the entire TV series Lost before flying here. So here I was hurtling towards an island, and it wasn't even a tropical island is what I told myself. That's how I came here, to pursue my master's in a blend between engineering and business.
So did you never leave because you didn't want to get back on the plane?
I didn't leave because I found a job, I found a husband, and now we have a child, so.
Carmichael, what brought you to Newfoundland and Labrador?
You know, it was really the weather. I just thought to myself, like, this rain, drizzle, and fog will keep me young forever. I'm actually 55 years old, just very moisturized. Actually, I attended Memorial University as well, so what brought me here was cheap international student tuition.
Okay. Jerry?
We were living in Dublin, Ireland before moving to Newfoundland. That was in 2011 that we moved to Newfoundland. We were thinking of moving out of Dublin, Ireland. That time, the Euro crisis and everything was happening, and we thought, you know, we'll move to somewhere else, maybe Australia or Canada. And Newfoundland had more, well, it was easier to migrate to Newfoundland that time. Okay. So then we moved here, and we are here.
Now, did any of you say Newfoundland, Labrador, that's where I really want to be? Or were there other factors that I guess led you to pick this place?
For me, as Carmichael said, it was the cheap international tuition fees. I had the option of immigrating to the States as well as United Kingdom, but and I had offers from universities there, but the cheap international tuition fees that I could afford was what brought me here.
It was the same for me as well. At the time that I came to university, I had been accepted into 13 different universities in the UK, in the US, in Canada, and in Trinidad actually. And I chose MUN because of the cost of the tuition fees.
Jerry?
And for us, Newfoundland was the easiest place to, easiest entry point to Canada. Right. So that was the main reason. So after we came here, we found a job. My wife and I found a job, and we liked it here. So continue to stay.
And how did it I guess square with your expectations? Like, what did you know about the place, and did it live up to what you thought you were getting into?
I remember the Wikipedia page and looking up St. John's, and I do believe the page said, and probably says right now, it's been more than 13 years since my initial Google search of it. St. John's is the Canadian capital city that is the snowiest, rainiest, foggiest, and windiest. And I was like, oh, how bad can it be? So you get here and you're like, oh, really bad. So in terms of my expectations, I think that was really my only expectation. I came here for a purpose, and that was to attend university. So that was my main goal, and the rest of it was just secondary to me at the time.
Who else had expectations? You flew in a hurricane. Hopefully it got better from there.
There was no power the first week here. And my name means light in Sanskrit, so the irony didn't stop. Hey, although tempestuous, I still stayed on here. And I came with a purpose, which was to have North American education under my belt. And I succeeded in that, so I accomplished that. And for the most part, the education part at MUN was satisfactory.
We always lived in bigger cities like Dublin, Singapore, and all. And from Dublin, we are flying into Gander. And on that very fine day, there's a snowstorm. And
what month was it?
October. Yeah. And that was the smallest airplane I have ever seen. I'm like, what is this? Is this a pickup truck or what? And the turbulence and the wind, right? My wife was just, her fingers were just digging in. Oh, Hail Mary, full of grace, I don't know.
I think my favorite one is that I flew in from Toronto, and so like, you know, you're passing all these major North American cities, so you're seeing the light under you. Then at some point in time, it's just like darkness, and there's no light. And the captain comes on, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're making our descent into St. John's," and you're just like, "Oh, like where?" You know, it's like there's not even, and then you can see like a little light as you come over Bell Island, and the plane turns around, and you're just like, where's everything else? So yeah.
What about the people? Were people welcoming? Are people welcoming here?
What is welcoming?
I was going to ask the same question.
I feel that people are nice and people are polite. And I have had very wonderful experiences with people that I met my first month, my first week, to now I see them as family, and they see me as family. But that is not the only type of experiences I've had. I've had just as many wonderful experiences as I've had challenging experiences when it comes to individuals. That's the way I feel about it.
Do you want to tell us about that, or?
Someone else could talk now.
Jerry, what was your experience? Are people welcoming?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I feel. I mean, the experiences are, you know, relative, right? I mean, people rate different experiences differently about things with how you feel, right?
The most famous Newfoundland question you get asked is, where are you from? And when I don't want to engage, I'm like, I'm from town. And I end the conversation there, and I know like that's the end of the conversation, because what they wanted to know was maybe my culture or my country of birth or my origin, or you know, like, but I'm not always in the mood, if I'm just going around my regular day, ready to engage just to assuage someone's curiosity. Right. So when I don't want to engage and someone asks me where I'm from, I'm like, I'm from Tamba.
Jerry, do you get that where are you from thing, and how do you react to it?
Yeah, but people always ask me that question. They ask me, oh, what's your real name? Your name is not Jerry, right? That's my real name. Yeah. I take my time and tell them, okay, there is so and so diversity in India, so there are so and so names in India.
Like Russell Peters.
Yeah, that's right. My name is Jerry Joy, right? So people ask you, are you a Newfoundlander? Do I look like one? No. Okay. Then the Joy name, yeah, there are different.
They think you're like a Joy from Bonavista or somewhere.
Yeah.
But there are Jerrys in India, there are Jamals in India, there are Jackishans in India,
That's right.
there are Jaspreets in India.
India is more diverse than most people understand. It's very difficult to explain in a minute or two, but I try my best. And it is understandable. Like my good friends say, the tribal consciousness is there within everybody, right? It is okay to recognize that.
I want to carry this on, but we do have to take a break. So when we come back, we're going to pick up this conversation right where we're leaving it off. Welcome back to Undecided. I'm Bailey White. Basically, I guess what we're talking about is this, can I call it a come from away culture? Like, come from away. Like, we have that word to describe people who aren't from here. I don't know if they have that in other provinces. Like, does it bug you, Carmichael, to constantly be asked where you're from and give me your whole life story?
There's something that I heard a woman say about 3 or 4 years back. And she said, whenever someone calls me a CFA, I look at them and I say, no, I'm an NBC. I'm a Newfoundlander by choice. And I think that adds such a more positive connotation to it, because I did come here for a certain reason, but I've made the choice to remain here. And that's a choice that born and bred Newfoundlanders and Labradorians don't make. So I want to be respected for that choice. And there's something to be said about having to constantly give your reasoning out to strangers. You have to constantly explain yourself to people who don't know you and who don't particularly care about you, just to assuage their curiosity. It ends up being almost like microaggressions. Every day having to explain yourself. Every day having to explain yourself. Who wants to be home and have to explain themselves?
It's like people think maybe they're just being nice, making conversation, saying, oh, where are you from? But what they're actually doing is pointing out to you that they can tell you're not from around here.
Every time they say it, then they're saying, you're not from here, explain yourself.
I wrote a piece about the fact that we call ourselves a multicultural country and take a lot of pride in it, but our holidays don't reflect that diversity. And it takes away from when you're not the prescribed norm, whatever that prescribed norm is, it takes away from a person who's not the prescribed norm from having pride in their culture. So I wrote about that, and I thought it was a very measured piece. The backlash that I faced purely because of the color of my skin, my melanin-rich skin, which I'm really proud of, it was ridiculous. So lemons were hurled at me, and I was like, how do I make lemonade out of this? So I take my story into schools, and I talk to kids, and the first question I ask them is, where is home? Because there is a difference between where is home and where are you from? And then I hear all sorts of answers, Newfoundland and Labrador, St. John's, pick a more place, all sorts of answers. And then I ask them, where is my home? And in one particular school, out of 54 kids, only one said Newfoundland and Labrador. And these are already 10-year-olds.
Wow.
And it's
That's the messaging they're getting.
already ingrained in their mind that someone who looks like me, who talks like me, who dresses differently, who eats differently, cannot call this place home, because they've confused it already with the idea of where I'm born, which are two different things. As a parent of an Indian-Canadian child, I still see some merit in, actually I don't see merit in being asked, where are you from, or rather, where are you really from? But when it happens to my child, who is born and raised in here, and it happens to many second-generation Canadians with different ethnic backgrounds that are not white, and it's the instant othering, instant racism.
And Jerry, I know you said you don't mind explaining to people sort of how you got here, but you're nodding along when Prajwal was talking about second generation. And
yeah, I have 2 little girls born and brought up here. They go to school here, kindergarten and grade 3. So they have it in their mind that we look different, and they have come up with a solution. They say we are Canadians.
Canadians?
You're Canadian. Yeah, I mean,
I go with Indian-Canadian. That's what I call myself, and our little one too. So
I just called myself an adopted townie boys.
I personally, I'm not disagreeing with, I really agree with it. It's all personal experiences, right? I personally have never experienced anything bad in that way. I want to think like you said, racism. I want to think that I think of racism like Illuminati. I have heard that it is out there, and it might show up someday. I don't know.
But I feel from reading, researching, lived experience, racism has changed its form and much like us has evolved. We've evolved as human beings and so has racism.
I mean, I don't think there's any room for overt racism in Newfoundland or in Canada.
I don't think so.
All the othering that occurs is now covert
microaggressive
and microaggressions.
It's not in your face. They won't. I mean, it's in your face online. I get a lot of go back home whenever I write a piece. It could be the happiest piece about Easter celebrations and a Taiwanese Canadian family celebrating it. I still get go back home.
Does anybody ever say that to you to your face?
No.
Only online?
No, online. Yeah.
That's telling, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But they say go back home in different ways, right? I mean, in asking where are you really from, in microaggressive ways. So you cannot
and it is there. I'm sorry.
No, go
I'm
on.
not
No, go on.
It is there everywhere. Let's look at my country, India. I'm from a state called Kerala. She's from Karnataka, right? People differentiate there. Like, oh, you're from the south, you're from the north, you're from this state. It's already there. The tribal consciousness, like I said, it is in everybody's head.
It's time now for Fantasy Premier. Fantasy Premier is this idea that I have. It's sort of like a game show, like a blind date or like dating game show, but it's nothing weird, right? Like it's just totally above board.
Sure, Bailey, thanks.
Just what do you want in a like? What would your ideal premier be like? What kind of qualities?
6'2", blue eyes, love long walks on the beach. like oh, I'm sorry. Good governance, equity.
Yeah. So he or she should have a vision that is projected towards 10 or 20 years for Newfoundland. What's going to happen with the economy or the demographics, the immigration. All this, a person who understands all these things collectively and do something towards it during his or her term.
My fantasy premier, I would have very good, strong economic ideas. With our natural resources as well, especially in Labrador. Fantasy premier.
Brajwala?
Strong economic ideas. One of us, as opposed to the power distance that needs to decrease. In terms of immigration, if you are looking to attract and retain, specifically, do not lump the Office of Immigration and Multiculturalism under the Advanced Education Skills and Labor. Have it as a separate portfolio. And multiculturalism and immigration don't have to go hand in hand. Multiculturalism has always existed in Canada. We immigrants don't need to bear that flag or whatever always. So. But definitely honesty.
I cannot believe how fast our time has gone by. I want to thank you all for joining me here at Jerry's Restaurant. And thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in a couple of days with more Undecided.
a beautiful weather picture of the day. This is a shrimp fishing boat off the coast of Labrador. Thank you so much to Edna for sending in that weather photo. And if you have any that you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca. Carolyn, Anthony?
That's a great angle for that shot.
It is. It's beautiful.
Excellent.
Quite something, quite something. Now, just before we go this evening, to let you know, we've got an update on Debbie. As many of you know, and as many of you have written to us, she's been taking a bit of time to recover after a medical issue.
Yes, but she will be back on May 21st, just after the May 24th long weekend. So we cannot wait to see her back. Looking forward to seeing you, Debbie.
Yeah. She usually takes time off then anyway, right? Because it's a big celebration time and all that, so.
Like lots of people take time off.
That's
but
true.
We're looking forward
That's
to her
true.
coming back.
Right. Note to self, book an extra day. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Good night.